Hello everyone, warm welcome to our new video of Physics Paper 3. In this video, we are going to start second unit, that is Biophysics. So there are a lot of terms in biophysics, but in this video we are going to discuss about what is the biophysics, what is scope of biophysics, then some biological fluids, then viscosity and experimental determination of viscosity. So these all terms we will discuss in this today's video. So let us begin with introduction of biophysics. What is biophysics? So it is basically a bridge between biology and physics, where biology studies life in its variety and complexity, right? Also biology describes how organisms go about getting food, communication, sensing the environment and reproduction. But what physics does? Physics being the most basic natural science which look for mathematical laws in nature and make detailed predictions about the forces which drives this idealized system. Yes, so spanning the distance between complexity of life and simplicity of physical laws, this is the challenge of biophysics. That's why biophysics is the study of biological system and biological process which is using physics based methods or based on physical principles. Now, how essential is biophysics to progress in biology? Means what is exactly the goal of biophysics? So here the goal of biophysics is to introduce biophysical theory, where biophysics create a simplified dynamical model of biological system and biological phenomena like diffusion, membrane impedance, then electrical response of cells or organelles of external fields. Also, biophysics discovers how atoms are arranged to work in DNA and proteins. Then, biophysicists are discovering how proteins work and they use this protein structure for discovering how biological machines work in health and also in diseases. So, biophysics is basically the branch of science which uses the methods of physics to study biological process. Yes, this is the best definition of biophysics, which is a branch of science and that uses the methods of physics to study biological processes. Now let us see what exactly the scope of biophysics. Now you all know that biophysics is closely related to disciplines of mathematical and computational biology, right? So here we can say that biophysics is the clear boundary between molecular biology, which can be traced to the efforts of physicists and physical chemists to explain physical basis of genetics, right? Biophysics discovers how to modify microorganisms for biofuel, which is replacing gasoline and diesel fuel, and also bioelectricity, which replacing petroleum product and coal producing electricity, right? So biophysicist identifies also how proteins work, and biophysics applies the principles of mathematics, chemistry, biology as well as physics to study living cells and organisms, including structures and fine structures, bioelectric phenomenon, radiation effects, molecular behavior, photosynthesis, membranes and modeling. So this is the scope of biophysics. Now see what is biological fluid. So biological fluids are liquids that come from inside human bodies and help transport nutrients and expel waste from human cells. For example, blood, urine, etc. Yes, biological fluids, these are some liquids which are originating from inside a human body and they are also fluid that excreted or secreted from the body. Yes, so human biological fluids comprise various proteins and phospholipids, and they play a vital role in physiological function of human organs. So the examples of biological fluids are blood, urine, then saliva, tears, then bile, gastric acids, then serum, sweating, semen, etc. There are a lot of biological fluids which are originating from human body. The dominating content of fluid body water is 60 to 65 per degree within the cell, and the other is 35 to 40% of body water outside the cell. So lymph in the body, that is 6 to 10 liter compared to the 3.5 to 5 liter of the blood. These are the biological fluids which are originating from human body. So what are the physical and chemical properties of these biological fluids? Suppose we have taken the example of blood. So what is the physical property and chemical property of blood? So let us see first physical properties. First, blood's temperature is 38 degrees Celsius. Then pH of blood is 7.35. Yes, it is the exact pH of blood, that is 7.35. Then third, blood is mostly composed of water to transport oxygen and carbon dioxide relatively. Yes, these are three physical properties of blood. Then what is chemical property? Blood contains RBCs and WBCs. You all know what is RBC, that is red blood cells, and WBC, white blood cells. Yes, then second is blood consists of platelets, and third is blood mostly consists of plasma. Okay, so these are physical and chemical properties of blood. But if you consider DNA, then what will be the physico-chemical properties of DNA? It is, yes, DNA is deoxyribonucleic acid, right? It is a complex and highly stable double helix configuration. Then it has two strands wound around each other. It dissolves well in water. It is negatively charged but neutral in solutions, right? Then chemically stable in mild acidic and alkaline solutions. Then it renaturing possible. Yes, its renaturing is possible. Then it can absorb UV region or UV lights, that is it can absorb strong light, that is at 260 nanometers. Yes, so these are some biological fluids, and you may have some questions on physical or chemical properties of biological fluids. Now next point is viscosity. So what is viscosity? It means the internal resistance. Yes, viscosity means the internal resistance against the flow of gas or a liquid due to frictional forces between layers while moving one layer over another. Yes, viscosity. What is the definition of viscosity? It is defined as measure of resistance of a fluid to gradual deformation by shear or tensile strength. Yes, viscosity is a type of force which can act on a layer of a gas while they move. Yes, and that force is called as viscous force. And that force resists the flow of a gas or a flow of a liquid due to frictional forces. That is called as viscosity. Okay, for example, we can say that honey is thicker than water. In turn, honey is more viscous than water. Yes, because honey cannot flow easily as like water. That's why viscosity of honey is more than that of the water. Now, which factors will affect the viscosity of gases or viscosity of liquid? Then the first factor will be density. Density is directly proportional to viscosity. So as viscosity increases, density also increases. As density decreases, viscosity also decreases. Then second factor is temperature. Temperature is so viscosity is also directly proportional to the square root of temperature. So as temperature decreases, viscosity is also decreases. Yes. Then mean molecular velocity and mean free path. It is also the factor which affects the viscosity of gases. So viscosity varies directly with the mean velocity and mean free path of the molecule. So these are some three important factors which can affect or which can influence the viscosity of liquids or viscosity of gases. Okay. Now what is the unit of viscosity? It is Newton per meter square, or sometimes it is called as poise. Now let us see experimental determination of viscosity. Here is one method by which one can easily determine the viscosity of any liquid. Here the instrument used is called as viscometer. So let us see what exactly the procedure to follow. So the step 1 is clean the viscometer by the water and ethanol and dry it. Okay, first step is clean this viscometer. You can see how viscometer can look it in diagram. So first what to do? Clean this viscometer by the water and ethanol and then dry it. Then put certain amount of water in the large bulge viscometer and pull it by pipette until the small bulge is full. Yes, you have to drop the some amount of water from one side of this arm and then pull up this liquid or that water from the second arm till this upper mark has to be done. Okay, then what is third step? Put viscometer vertically in the water bath at the desired temperature. Then let the liquid to flow through the capillary tube with run time. When the liquid reaches to mark shown on the viscometer, then stop the time, and when the liquid reaches at the bottom. Okay, means in step 2 we have seen that certain amount of water is to be drop out from one arm of this viscometer, okay, and pull up that water from second arm up to the upper mark level, okay, and after that put this viscometer into the water bath up to the desired temperature and then allow this water to go down up to the lower mark and count that time, okay, while the liquid is going from upper mark to the lower mark and record that time. Okay, then repeat this experiment for ethanol as well. Okay, we have put up water first time and we have done this experiment, then again repeat this experiment for ethanol and record the time for ethanol. Okay, then again repeat this experiment for other liquids and also record its time. Now suppose if you have a viscosity, if you want to have viscosity of ethanol, then first of all you have to perform this experiment for water, distilled water, and the second you have to perform or repeat this experiment for ethanol. So you will get two times, right? For water it will be T1, it will be recorded as T1. For ethanol it will be recorded as T2. Okay, now go to the formula of viscosity. Here the viscosity of water is known and viscosity of ethanol is to be found. Okay, so N1 is known to you. Viscosity of water, it is a fixed, that is like something 1.0018 like that. Okay, so N1, value of N1 is fixed and value of N2 is to be found, that is viscosity of ethanol, and formula says d1 T1 upon d2 T2. Now what is d1 and d2? It is the density of water and density of ethanol. Okay, d1 is the density of water and d2 is the density of ethanol, and T1 it is the time required to come down from upper mark to lower mark for water, and T2 is for time for ethanol. Okay, so while by performing this experiment you will get the values of T1 and T2 and the densities of these two liquids, that is already known. So D1 and D2 are already known, and the value of N1 that is viscosity of water is also known. So put all these values into this formula, calculate it, and you will get the viscosity of ethanol, that is the value of N2. So this is how we can perform this experiment, and we can find out viscosity of any liquid by using this instrument called as viscometer. Okay, so I hope you must get this point. So here in today's video we have completed, or we have discussed what is the introduction to biophysics, then what is the scope of biophysics, then we have seen some biological fluids, their physical and chemical properties, and also we have seen what is viscosity, and lastly we have seen experimental determination of viscosity by using viscometer. Okay, so write these points in your notebook, and we will see remaining points in next video. Till then, thank you and bye bye.